Legion Tactical Cutlery.
Hold the line!
Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Grugs here, Legion Tactical Cutlery. Welcome back, troops, Legionnaires, new recruits. All right, I got something really cool for you today. This is the Takumitak Fit. Looks like a pretty awesome combat blade, but we're going to test it out outdoors, see how it holds up. Inspection. What are you guys carrying? What's your EDC? Well, once again, I am carrying my Lengren A687. Expect a test on this one real soon. What do you all have? Veterans, active military. To some of you out there, what does this knife remind you of? This reminds me of a modernized version of the Studies and Observation Group Special Forces knife used in Vietnam. Thank you very much for your service. Real quick specs, once again, this is the Takumitak Fit. We are looking at an overall length of 9 inches, blade length of 4.25 inch, handle length 4.75 inch. Blade shape is a clip point. Blade material is 3CR13 with a hardness of 54 to 56. Blade thickness is 3.76 millimeters. The blade grind is hollow. The blade edge is plain, and the blade finish is a black oxide. Handle material is the fiberglass reinforced nylon, or FRN. I did put on the tan version of these scales. I do have the black ones, and that's why the box is there. I'm going to show you the inside of that box. And the sheath material is also a fiberglass reinforced nylon. That's done very well. Let's take a look at this blade together, man. I am digging it. Definitely reminds me of the Studies and Observation Group Vietnam era knife, except a little bit smaller and a little bit more modernized, you know. Hollow grind, got a nice swedge over here, pretty cool. I think that's a clip point, man. I like it. Nice jimping, not too aggressive, definitely stops the thumb from moving and slipping. A generous sharpening choil that you could also choke up with your finger. Tiny guard, nicely done curvatures of the handle. Great feeling grip, okay, no matter how you hold it. And again, I've tested this out before. You know, it feels really good. So you could take this out hunting, and as you're cutting up your animal, you could definitely hold this in multiple positions and feel comfortable. The FRN handles where the textured area is good grip. Where it's a little bit more smoother, it's a little bit more slipperier. So I don't know how that would act when it's wet. However, I know that the FRN stuff is pretty tough, and it works good. I did change the scales. I'll show you the black ones inside this box in a minute. Full tang. It is full tang. It's not skeletonized, and the tang is pretty thick. So I am very confident that this would be a very sturdy knife. So it is full tang, but as you can see over here, the tang is covered on this side, which is fine. And as you can see, the tang just goes all the way up towards the end of the scale. Lanyard hole, again, full tang goodness. Fit and finish is pretty decent. Takumitak does have a FRN pancake style sheath, which I like a lot. They're another company who does a very good job with their sheaths. Eyelet holes, rivet holes, you know, elongated holes over here. Tech lock, just a well done sheath. Let me pop this in, nice and quiet. This could be, this could be held scout carry, upright carry, or, you know, you could just remove this, put a third-party option on here, and whatever it is that maybe somebody in military or law enforcement would want to have set up a different way on their vest, on their hip, on their leg, etc. So lots of possibilities with this one. All right, man, let's test it out. Oh, yes, before I forget, just to the collector out there, Takumitak does come with a nice box. Here is the extra FRN scale. This one comes in black, so it does come with 2 different types of scales. Okay, also the tech lock that you saw attached right here, this was separate. I just added this on, and the hardware and the proper tools are inside this box included. And there's some hardware here, some extra hardware in case, you know, you lose one of the parts as you're changing out the scales. Some instructions. Here's the tool, little gelatin pack. A pretty nice setup, in my opinion, and all in a nice box for the collector. Okay, I'm going to do some light chopping. I am going to try a couple of different pieces of wood. Here's a nice dried out piece. It hasn't rained here in a while, so let's give it a go. Okay, so far, initial impressions. This part right here, this textured area, is very nice, man. Again, since it's a small blade and it's very well balanced, my fingers have to choke up towards the rear of the handle. Not a problem though, because it's starting off pretty good. I will try to use every part of the blade, but we have some other, some other types of wood that we'll be testing out, and I'm excited. I definitely like the design of that blade, man. Really, really pretty cool. We're going to start a little different area now. Definitely dried out piece of wood, but pretty solid so far. Taking some time to get through. Even though the wood is dry, it's not falling apart. So it's a nice solid piece, and a good challenge for a knife this size. Biting in pretty deep so far. Okay, let's do this side now. Due to the curvature of this piece of wood, it's a little difficult for me to hold. Plus, this knot is just ripping into my hand. Whoops. All right, cool. All right, let's check out. Let's just check out real quick its edge. All right, so far we're looking good. Nice, nice. Nice, okay. We're looking good. Let me try a different piece of wood. I found a little bit greener piece of wood. However, it's been sitting outside for a while. I just cut it, made it a manageable size. You know, this will be great for some batoning and some feather sticks too. So let's get chopping here. So far so good. That's a pretty decent notch right there, just by chopping. Biting in, making chunks. So far so good. Again, trying to use every part of the blade. Here's the front part. Getting a little bit more leverage. Just hacking away at the wood. Not bad. This piece right here is causing it to bounce every time I hit. So, you know, this could be on a branch, on a tree, and you're hiking, hunting, camping, whatever, and you just need to cut this little piece off and, you know, you just want to chop it real quick. It's doable with the Takumitak fit. Okay. Almost through, we're almost there. Awesome, awesome. Okay, let's check out the sharpness. I don't know what I did with that other one with the curls, but let's see. Oh yeah. In fact, I want to choke up. I want to see what that finger troll does for me. Nice. Looking good. All right, cool. Let me clean this up and we'll do some horizontal and vertical batoning with a few different pieces of wood. I decided to put on some gloves, you know, as a operator or first responder, law enforcement. You know, some of you tactical type of people out there are going to wear gloves. So I figure, let me show you what it's like with wearing gloves. And you can see, it for my hand, personally, it fits pretty good. Feels good. Now, these gloves are a little bit slippery. So let's just try batoning and making some feather sticks. Okay, we'll do horizontal first. All right. And use the whole blade. Okay, nice. I know that from past experience that 3CR is pretty tough stuff. This feels like a nice hard piece of wood. Okay, cool. No problem with the glove. Digging in. All right. Let's quarter these. Nice. Looking good. Still sharp. So I'm thinking maybe this is a better batch of the 3CR. Maybe they did a better job with the heat treat on this particular version. Oh, just want to make sure I don't cut myself. I want to make this a little bit smaller. Okay, good. Going into the stump. So I did go all the way through. I do appreciate the hollow grind, and if the heat treat is done right, you know, you're not going to have to worry about the blade warping or bending or crinkling or rippling or whatever. So, all right, well, now that I've got this done a little bit, hopefully you'll be able to see all that in the camera. Let's do a little vertical. Excellent. Okay. Let's make this a little bit thinner. Okay, these are really nice feather sticks, and so far we're looking good. I just want to do a little bit more batoning before we go any further, so I'm just going to grab a few more pieces right here, and I'll be back in a second. All right, I got a nice stubby piece, and I got another long piece right over here. So let's give it a try. Abuse that tip a little bit. Great. Awesome. Do it again. We got some kindling for your firebox stove. By the way, I'm always mentioning firebox stoves because I own one. Should bring it in one of these days. I know it's a very popular stove. All right. Fantastic. Okay, I got a little bit thinner piece. Looks nice and durable. You know what? I'm gonna go through that knot. No problem. Fantastic. So for some small tasks, she's holding up. Let's see, edge retention. Making these nice fine curls. Actually, let me get all this cleaned up and we'll make some feather sticks. Individual curls first, yeah? What do you think? Nice. Thin. So far, so good. Nice and sharp. Yeah, different parts of the blade I should use. Looking good. Some finer work. I'm going to choke up a little bit, just get rid of the bark maybe. It's getting a very thin piece of the wood. See that? Nice and thin. So far so good. Let me just get rid of this bark over here. It'll be good for the final thoughts. I got to tell you, I am definitely loving the handle. Okay, if the neuter had this type of a handle with these type of swells, that knife would be also, you know, just as good as this one. But I like this one a little bit more. It just feels real good. I love the curvature. I love the finger grooves placement. Again, this is for my hand. I can only express the opinion for my hand, but feels real good, man. Even in, you know, different configurations. So if you're an operator and you got to do some dirty work, you know, it feels pretty good, man. It feels pretty good in the hand, and I'm sure you would get the job done. Well, let's make some feather sticks now. Okay, got one of the pieces that let's see, this one's a little bit thinner that I cut. Once again, I'm going to take off the bark. Oh, by the way, I did take off the gloves. The gloves worked fine, you know. Again, but that's for my hand, but the gloves did work fine. And there we go. Oh no, there goes the wind. Well, it's on video, so there's proof. Yeah, so far so good. I mean, capable of making a feather stick. This was the edge retention test version I was doing. And still making some very thin curls here. Okay, they're flying off because I keep on cutting them. But we're looking good, man. I'm digging this knife. You know what? I want to test out this point. Do a little bit of stabbing and see how it works out. Let me get some wood for it. All right, I want to try a tip test, okay? I did baton this. Here's the other piece over here. I did baton this to get this flat so it doesn't roll around on me. And see if I can use the tip to split this a little bit more. The handle feels good. The guard is definitely preventing me from sliding down. Nice. Okay. Let me finish it and then we'll take a look at the tip. And it's definitely going into the stump here. The stump is soft, to be fair, but you know, it's definitely going through is my point. Okay. And last but not least, tip looks good. Let me try this other piece over here. Let me see if I do it this way. Okay, if you needed to cut it in half, you could use the tip to do it. If you didn't have a baton readily available, I don't know, maybe you're a bushcrafter and you're a primitive bushcrafter and you want to make a trap and you need to make a hole as one of the components in your trap. Let's see if I can go all the way through for whatever reason. Using the point to do the pivoting. Definitely want to get through this. I like this design. This is a penetrator. I mean, again, the Studies and Observation Group in Vietnam came out with a highly secretive knife that kind of had a similar design, and it was meant for dirty work, penetration out in the, in the jungles. And this is pretty close to it, man, as far as, a shortened up version of the design. Okay, I think I'm through. Sorry about that noise. There's people in this park, and they do bring their vehicles here, their dogs, and it gets loud here sometimes, especially on a weekend. All right, so we look like we did go through. Just make sure I'm on camera for everybody. All right, so instead of a divot, I made a hole. Okay, you can see. Hold on a second. I know there's a Ukrainian bushcrafter, and all he does is shorts, and he makes these wicked bushcraft primitive traps. And you know, he sets it up, and then he demonstrates by making believe his fingers are the animals, and then boom, the trap goes off, and it's just amazing. I don't think he even has a very, very expensive knife, and he just uses this knife to, you know, to make points, notches, and he makes some wicked traps with this, man. But as you could see, went through the hole. The tip is good. You know, I want to do a little bit of prying here. Lately, I've been using the tip to test, you know, the okay, taking off some of this bark for whatever reason. If you needed to take off the bark, you know, have your baton with you. You know, you can do a little prying. This 3CR is pretty good stuff. It's tough, and you could hear it cracking. All right, and it's split. So, not a bad little test for this knife, you know, especially if you're an operator, you're in the military. Maybe you're heading back into the jungle for whatever reason. You set booby traps, the forest, and you know, there is an art to making you know, traps and booby trap type devices. And you know, maybe this knife might be for you. You never know. It's a nice size. It's not too heavy. I know a lot of the military people out there, they don't carry Bowie knives anymore. So they'll just carry something small, something lightweight, and something out of the way. And this knife is perfect, man, perfect. Speaking of some traps, let's make a couple. All right, so I just cut a nice size over here. You want to stick it up into the ground. If you ain't got the time to, you know, carve a point, set it at a certain angle. All right, dip it in a toxin, poison. You know, the weight of that person falling on all these sticks is going to cause some problems, okay? However, if you need to make a point, make sure I'm in camera, because sometimes I'm up so high. And if you need to make a point with this knife, okay, that's a nice point. And you need to do a whole bunch to set your trap, or even if you're trying to, you know, do some primitive hunting. And you know, you could use this the tip over here to make a notch or whatever. You know, you just gotta make a notch of some sort. I don't know, in the art of the booby trap, I'm just guessing. I don't know. Maybe you can't have something so, you know, so deep. You need something very easy to trigger. You just have a slight notch, and then you put a piece of wood here like that there. Ukrainian bushcrafter does, man. And it's just enough, just a light touch from an animal or maybe a person, who knows, to trigger your trap. But it's a nice small knife. It's nothing too big. It's a nice small knife, easy to carry. easy to wield and easy to do work at, you know. And if you need to do up close bushcraft type stuff, and you could, you know, use this tip to do it. Okay, I think we're looking good, man. I'm definitely liking this knife. The edge is definitely better than the neuter, so I'm thinking that this was, you know, a better heat treat done on this knife. And I'm real happy, man. I am very appreciative to the Takumitak representatives for allowing me to test this, and now I own one of these bad boys, man. That's awesome. Thank you. I had one subscriber ask about you know, spine testing. I used to like to do it. I kind of don't like doing it anymore because it does ruin the knife. However, that person asked, and you know, I'll test it out. So I have my ferro rod. Let's well, let me get the bigger piece of fat wood here. I definitely want to test the spine that way. And as you can see, it's making that fluff off the fat wood. This is fat wood. So the spine on the fit is way better than the neuter. The neuter, the coating was just you know, rounding off the edges on the on that knife. But this one seems to be, you know, more defined, more 90 degrees. And I'm sure that, you know, with all of Takumitak knives, you could just use a Dremel or a file of some sort and just take off the coating, and you could get these results over here, like the fit. But so far the fit is doing a, you know, really nice job. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I heard Blackie Thomas, okay, say that this, I could be wrong, but this part, you know, as a hunting knife could be used, I guess, to take off the fat and stuff like that from skin, from the hide of an animal. I think that's what that is used for. So you have this option for this knife because it's here. So very cool. Again, it's kind of windy, so this pile might just fly off all over the place. Let's do a little more. I'm gonna try the choil. Oh, look at that. Oh no, that was the knife I was doing, sorry. I completely missed the choil. I started shaving here. But the choil, yeah, look at that. The choil is really working. Oh no, the wind. Damn it. The choil is definitely doing better than the spine. As you can see, the way I'm holding the knife in different ways, you know, it's working out. I would, you know, if you got this knife, I would definitely recommend using the choil. It seems to be working real well. All right, nice little pile over here. Let's make some thin curls from the fat wood. Nice and hard, this wood. Just a real small pile. It's kind of windy, so I don't want to do anything stupid, you know. And let's see. Let's try it a couple of different ways. Let's try it with the, oh yeah, perfect. Look at that. Now let's try the spine. The spine, not as much as the choil. So, but again, I kind of don't like doing this anymore because it does kind of mess up the knife a little bit. Even though I always constantly say that the knife is a tool, I like my knives. I don't want to, you know, ruin them. So I do have this scraper over here, okay, that comes with the ferro rod. If you don't have one, you know, or you don't, you know, you got to travel lighter and you just have enough space for a ferro rod and you have your knife. Let's see. Okay, just a little fire. So choil absolutely works way better than the spine. Not a deal breaker because the spine can be dremeled down a little bit or take off that coating. And hell of a knife, man. Hell of a knife. All right, I'm ready to give my final thoughts, man. Since my pile flew away, just a couple more examples. You know, just using the front part of the blade, making some nice thin curls here. Adding to this pile over here. Then, you know, you're making some more thin curls. So the edge, I have to say, held up pretty good on this particular model. Nice and thin. All right, just to show you, I have, you know, if you're doing some camp chores or you're using paracord in the military, parachutist or something, okay, real easy. Let me put it in that pile. A little bit thicker rope. Maybe you're tying down your Humvee or whatever. I don't know what you guys use these days. All right, we're looking good, man. We are looking good. The Takumitak fit, ladies and gentlemen, did an awesome job. Look at that fair share of work that knife performed, man. Spine did great. You know, the feel of the handle was just amazing. Did some prying, did some tip work. You know, we made some components for a trap, booby traps, whether it's human or animal. Made a hole through that one piece of wood using the tip. Feather sticks galore. We did some chopping. Knife did great, man. Did some camp chores too. You know, cutting up some rope, paracord, nice thin curls. The edge did hold up on this one, man, which I'm very, very happy about. All right, troops, legionnaires, new recruits, I hope you enjoyed this, man. If you enjoy this type of content, let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. I want to bring awareness, everybody. Hashtag 22 a day, hashtag 22 a day no more. There are veterans in active military. They, once they get out of the service, they do face a lot of challenges. And unfortunately, one of these challenges is suicide. So at the end of this video, pause on the slides, call those phone numbers, check out those websites, and seek the help you all have earned and deserve. Troops, legionnaires, new recruits, as always, thank you so much. At the ready, hold the line. Take care.
Legionnaires!